Okay, this is a dandelion plant. This is a dandelion root. See, that's a nice big root. Make sure you can see. There's a root. And these are baby roots. That's a main root. Loaded with nutrients. I just dug it up with my shovel. It's very hard to pull them up without the roots breaking off, so I dig it up with the shovel. You see it's attached to the leaves. And this is a dandelion plant that I have not yet dug up. I haven't dug it up because it's gonna blossom some beautiful yellow flowers. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. I'm sure you see them as you drive by the wayside. And some places it's like a blanket of yellow flowers that just cover the area. And it's dandelions. Grows wild, and it's a pain in the neck for a lot of people because it's a weed and it messes up people's pretty lawn. But they don't realize what they're killing with weed eater. A lot of these things that grow on our lawn that they call weed are nutritious plants that God has put on this earth that just come up every season. Okay, and they are placed here to nourish our bodies and to heal our bodies. Okay, herbs, bush, as my dad calls them. So these are the young petals attached to these graceful, long, graceful stem. And these are the younger leaves that are less bitter. The older leaves are more bitter. Doesn't mean they're not good for you, they're just bitter. My dad, who is 86 years old and totally in his right mind and quite healthy, I've talked about him on my channel before. He still washes his clothes by hand, hangs them on a line, takes them down, irons them. He still cleans his own house, cooks every day from scratch, and goes to the market to buy his own produce and grocery, and walks 1.5 miles to the center of the town to pay his water bill, his light bill, and do his business, go to the bank, etc. Okay, at 86 years old. Sharp, sharp, sharp. My dad cannot read and write, but you would never know because he conducts all his businesses. He was a businessman in Jamaica for over 40 years, owned his own restaurant and his little grocery store, and has done well for himself. So yeah, I learned a lot from him. Healthy and strong. And my dad, for as long as I've known him, he always drinks a mug of bush tea every day. And normally his bush tea is cerasee, guinea hen weed, mint, and cinnamon. He'll boil all of that together in a big pot that will be enough to last him for a few days, and he'll drink a mug of it every single night. And he turned me on to that, and I too drink a mug of bush tea every single day. So I wanted to talk to you about this bush, free but so loaded with all kinds of nutrients. Now the young leaves are great for salads. They're not bitter when they're young like this, so they're great for salad, or you could just break them and just eat it by itself just like that. The older leaves are more bitter, but it doesn't mean they're not good. They're excellent for you. My dad always tells me that the bitter stuff like aloe vera and cerasee are very good for you because they cleanse your blood. So for example, my dad has aloe vera growing in his yard, and periodically he will break an aloe vera, long aloe vera leaf, and he'll cut a piece, and he doesn't scoop out the jelly part of it and leave the bitter part. He'll put the whole big, like an inch or more, in his mouth and just suck on it for a few hours. He said whenever his stomach doesn't feel so good, he'll just cut a piece of aloe vera and he'll suck on it. And if you know anything about aloe vera, it is bitter. But he has gotten used to it so much that he said he doesn't taste the bitterness. Also, that aloe vera is what my dad used as a shaving cream. So he will rub the aloe vera, open up the leaf, rub the slimy aloe vera on his head, on his face, wherever he's gonna shave, and then he uses his blade to shave. And you should see my dad's skin, absolutely beautiful, with no wrinkles at 86 years old. Okay, so he knows a thing or two about bush. You know, we call it herbs, they call it bush. So let's talk a little bit about dandelion. Every part of the dandelion plant can be eaten and is loaded with all kinds of healing properties. So the root can be used to make tea, and I've never done it. I intend to do it, but some folks cut up the root and then, wash it and cut it up and then gently roast it, and then they grind it and use it to make coffee. In fact, the last time I went to Jamaica, they were selling dandelion coffee. So yeah, and folks swear by it, so I'm definitely gonna try it. I'm really just getting into the dandelion this year. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you that this is one plant I have not investigated, but I recently met a gentleman that we purchased a house from, and he had been diagnosed with cancer, and he told me that he's using herbs for healing, and that's when he told me about the healing properties of the dandelion. I mean, when we were at his house, he had a whole lot of dandelion plants in his yard. He doesn't spray it with pesticides, so he was just picking the petals and eating them. And I mean, I haven't seen him since then, so I don't know how he's doing, but he was telling us about the healing virtues of the dandelion. So this year I decided to do some research, and yes, the dandelion is good for liver cleanse, kidney cleanse, and has many vitamins, including vitamin A, which is good for vision, and vitamin B12, vitamin C, and iron, to name a few. But it is known as a good liver cleanse, blood purifier, and a kidney detox. So you can boil the root to make a tea. Like I said, you can gently roast the root and use it to make dandelion coffee. The leaves, you can wash it, put it in a mug, pour some boiling water on it, and just let it steep for a couple hours and drink it as a tea. The older the leaves, the more bitter it is. But like my dad said, bitter is good because it purifies the blood and purifies the liver. The younger leaves can be eaten just by themselves. Actually, the older or younger leaves can be eaten by themselves. It's just that the older ones are a little more hard and a little more bitter. So the younger leaves are more tender and less bitter. The stems can be eaten, and definitely the petals, when they become yellow flowers, you can eat them in a salad, eat them by themselves, or you can saute them with your food. Or the yellow flowers with their stem, you can pour hot water on it and let it steep as a tea. Okay, so that's the dandelion. All parts of it can be used, and don't be afraid of bitter. Aloe vera is a great cleanse also. It cleans the colon, cleans the intestine. Aloe vera is very good for your digestive system, and aloe vera purifies the blood. Aloe vera just has a whole lot of great health benefits, so it's something that we should incorporate in our daily regimen. You can, if you get a cut or burn or something like that, you can put aloe vera on it, it'll heal it. A lot of um, cosmetic stuff that people put on their skin to make your skin youthful and your hair, and stuff like that. Aloe vera is in it. Okay, so if you have the real aloe vera, you can scoop out the inside, whip it up, put on your hair, and apply some heat to deep condition your hair. And you can put it on your skin to help your skin to remain youthful. So these bitter things are really, really good for you. But I wanted to talk to you about the wonderful free dandelion that grows all over the place. Now, when you harvest your dandelion, be sure that you're harvesting your dandelion somewhere where it's safe, meaning it's free of pesticides and other poisons. We don't spray our yard. We don't spray our lawn. We kind of allow things to be wild. As you can see, a tree fell and we're allowing it to decompose and rot so it can be great nutrient for the plants in our yard. So the dandelion is free to reign here. So yes, I don't have pesticides, so I can reap my dandelion from anywhere in my yard. But be careful about using dandelions that are on the wayside or other people's grass, because some people do spray pesticides on their grass, and that would definitely not be good for you. But if you have a yard and you're able to harvest these dandelion, they are excellent. You can actually harvest the dandelion and dry the leaves and dry the roots and dry the petals and the stem during their season, because they're seasonal. They're only around during the spring and the summer. So you're not going to find these plants in the late fall and winter. They're not dead because the roots are still alive. They spring up every year, as you might know. But you're not going to find the leaves and certainly not the petals available during the winter season. So you can actually harvest them and dry them and then use them during the year for teas. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you about the dandelion, a wonderful free herb, aka food, and nourishment for our body that God has provided, and we don't even have to buy it. Although you can get dandelion leaves and petals and root to buy online. Everything is available online. Enjoy and be well and take care.